the Hard Rock Show. I'm Shane.
I'm Andrew.
And this is our midweek episode, the Hard Rock Happenings.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about all the news and CD releases that you guys need to know about. So our first news piece for the week is...
it's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Is Dream Theater have announced Mike Mangini as the new drummer for the band. He's in to replace Mike Portnoy.
Yeah. I know you've got a bit to say, so...
Yeah, Mike Portnoy is an original member of the band, and I'm a bit unhappy that an original member gets replaced. But in saying that, Mike Mangini is a very accomplished drummer. He's worked with Steve Vai, Extreme, Annihilator.
Yep.
He's worked with some great bands. He's also an innovator in the drum world. He's built a huge drum kit that he's spent years designing, and he's got pretty much everything you can think built into this huge drum kit. If you have time, jump on the internet and have a look at a picture of it, because it's amazing.
It's pretty big.
But I wish Dream Theater well with their new drummer, and I look forward to the new album. I'm just not sure how not having a pivotal member like Mike Portnoy in the band is going to affect them down the track, but it's a wait and see kind of case.
Well, the thing in my mind was that Mike Portnoy, as far as I'm aware, was pretty much the main cog.
He was one of three main cogs, yeah.
And any time a band chooses to replace someone that fundamental to the band in general, it feels similar to a band trying to replace a frontman. Yeah. In this case,
which is not an easy thing to do.
No, and I think that the problems that can come from that are going to be interesting to see how the band can work their way through it. I mean, you can imagine the argument that would happen behind closed doors. I mean, he wanted some time off from all reports to do something else or have a break or whatever, and the band wanted to keep going, and so in order to keep going, they kick out a founding member.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
a very big statement. So
that's just the way the story goes anyway.
Yeah, so
who knows which side is actually truthful or what, I don't know.
Well, there's usually two sides and the truth is pretty much in the middle somewhere, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. We both wish all parties involved well in their future endeavours, but I personally, I know you do too, think that this is a very big statement, so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this next.
Definitely. The other story that I find quite interesting is the Head Cat, featuring Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yep.
And a bunch of other people. There's members from the Stray Cats in there.
Yep.
They're about to release another album.
It's been a long time.
It has been a while. Been a while between drinks, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't know how long exactly, but I remember reading up on it and it was a very long time in between.
The album's going to come out on July 5th. It's going to be called Walk the Walk and Talk the Talk, which is fitting for an album that features Lemmy, I think, because if anybody walks the walk and talks the talk, it's him.
Yeah, you can imagine that one being straight out of his playbook, so to speak.
Definitely. I just thought it was worth mentioning because at his age, not only is he going harder than ever with Motorhead, but he's also found the time and the energy to do a side project as well. Continue with a side project. So.
He was also involved in Slash's new album recently, so he's very, very active, very, very busy, and he's got to be one of the oldest guys on the scene. Yeah. And he's probably one of the most active people on the scene.
There's him and Ozzy and Keith Richards.
Yeah. The ones that just won't stop and won't die at the same time.
Just won't give up. Not that we want any of them to die, obviously. Not at all. As long as they keep making great music, we're going to keep listening to it.
Well, I doubt that any of them make any crap music, so...
No, they never have.
No.
Not as far as I'm concerned, anyway.
Same here.
All a matter of opinion.
Yep.
I just thought it was worth mentioning that Lemmy's back in the studio with the Head Cat, and the album comes out on July 5th.
Be worth checking out.
Definitely
we'll
worth
be checking it out for sure. So
absolutely.
Yep.
Now, speaking of people who are back in the studio, an interesting one that's definitely piqued my attention is Metallica are in the studio this month for 2 weeks. They're very cloak and dagger about what they're actually in there to do. I have a theory.
Go for it. It's just a theory, folks.
It's just a theory. I'm not by any stretch on the inside of anything here.
Yep.
As much as I'd like to be.
We both like to be.
Yeah. This year is Metallica's 30th anniversary, and I believe that they may be going into the studio to record re-record some old tracks with their current lineup.
Yeah.
And there's a part of me that hopes that is true.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested to see how Rob and all the members of Metallica tackle their older material.
We've seen
with
them
so much
live.
water under the bridge.
Yeah, we've seen them live do it, and they pull it off live. But it's one thing to do it live with all that energy and stuff going on. It's another thing to take it into the studio and recapture the magic that was there so long ago and take it to another level.
Exactly.
It's something else entirely. So if that's the theory, if that's what it's going for, because Lars himself came out and said, well, I wouldn't exactly call it new.
Yeah,
That's where this sort of...
That's where I've built my theory from anyway.
Yep.
But I'd also like to see him do just a 30th anniversary celebratory EP of new material. That'd be pretty cool. And we know that they've always got riffs stored away, ready to go. So
yeah, well, I think it was in preparation for the new album. Hetfield came out and said he's got something like over 700 riffs.
700 riffs.
Ready to go. Now, for a guy that is that active, I mean, I read articles with the other band members, Lars in particular, saying that James is not allowed to play unless something is recording.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's tuning up, if he's just riffing away. It doesn't matter what he's doing. If he's got a guitar in hand, something's got to be a recording. He's not allowed to play without record going. So,
yep, absolutely.
It speaks something about the creative mind behind that force that is Metallica.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But as we find out more, we'll speak about this again.
Yeah, we're both absolute Metallica fans.
I'm salivating at new material or just a new release in general from Metallica because I love them.
Well, they've got the new one recently about that Down Under EP, whatever it is. That's a compilation of different gigs.
Two EPs. There was part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, a compilation of gigs in Australia from over the years. They've done tours and stuff out here, and that's a pretty good mix up of things too. But to have some new material, and to, even if this 2-week stint, whatever it is not all new material, if it's them doing a rehash of the old stuff, to know that they're getting ready to go back into the studio gives me goosebumps. I love the idea, so I'm looking forward to what comes out of it either way, no matter what happens.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's about all we've got for news.
Yeah.
Got a few CD releases in the last week that we wanted to throw out there to you guys.
It's been a very busy week, and it's going to be a very busy month.
There is a lot of releases coming up. There's DVD releases, book releases. I can think of a lot of stuff off the top of my head.
Yep.
And as we go on, as they come out, we'll throw them out to you guys to check them out.
Yep.
But this week there's a couple of CDs that have been released. There's Skindred's Union Black, which is definitely worth checking out. It's very different.
Yep.
Nikki Sixx's 6am project has just released their latest album called This Is Gonna Hurt.
And anything that Nikki Sixx does is gold as far as I'm concerned. So
Nikki Sixx is one of those geniuses. Just always putting out great stuff.
Yep.
And there's a book that goes with the CD as well. It's a companion piece of Nikki's photography over the years. So
very creative and diverse individual.
He is, definitely. Yeah. There's a release it's not new. It hasn't come out this week. It's been out since about April 16th, I think.
Yep. It's
from a Melbourne-based band called Dead Star Renegade.
Now this is a good album.
The album's called Blackwing, and it's absolutely phenomenal. We'll
do a feature on that.
A bit more of a focus on Dead Star Renegade down the line.
Yep.
We're gonna
gearing up an interview.
Going to have a chat with the boys, and we'll actually play one of their tracks for the show or something. But just wanted to throw it out there. Blackwing, fantastic album. Sounds great. Lyrically, musically, unreal. Production by Ricky Ray, who worked with Electric Mary.
Yep.
And he's clearly a very good sound guy.
Well, we were there at their album launch, and he came in to do the audio for the night, and the translation from studio to live was awesome. So a lot is to be said for the production of this album, because it comes across really well. I've said before, maybe not here but between us, about how a lot of the American labels and stuff don't think that Australians can make good albums, good sounding albums, and they've got a whole bunch of interesting theories as to why, but this one is definitely up there as regards production and sound. It can compete with an American release comfortably. Yeah,
it sounds great. Check it out. It's available on iTunes, I believe, but you can also get it through their website.
Yep.
It's definitely worth a listen. Duff McKagan's Loaded have just released their latest album. It's called The Taking. And I don't care what anybody says, Duff McKagan is a bass player in my mind.
Yep.
But in saying that, in Loaded, Duff sings, and we all know he can sing. He did some singing on the Illusions albums for Guns N' Roses.
And live.
Yep. And he did a few solo albums in the early 90s, Believe in Me, stuff like that.
Yep.
We know he can sing, but on Loaded he plays rhythm guitar.
Okay, I didn't know that until just now. Yeah,
dropped the bass for now, and he's picked up the rhythm guitar, and he's great as a frontman. Awesome.
He's got a lot of spark about him. Just seeing him, we saw Velvet Revolver, and when he's up there on stage, there's no one that can do what he does. He's one of a kind, that one.
Yeah, and honestly, based on the way his vocals sound on The Taking,
yep,
I'd love to see Velvet Revolver give up the search for a vocalist and just let Duff take over.
That's actually a very good idea.
I don't know whether Duff's willing to do that, because possibly if he was willing, it might have happened by now. But I think that'd be a great idea, because he is a good singer.
Yeah.
And I think we could get really stuck into a debate about that, and so we'll leave that there. Yeah. We might touch on that again at another point.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to talk about in regard to Velvet Revolver, but
Definitely.
as news comes to hand, we'll cover that one.
Yeah. But one final release that's come out is a double album, live on disc 1, acoustic live on disc 2.
Yep.
And you know who I'm talking about.
That's from Shinedown.
Shinedown.
A great southern metal band.
Yeah. Yep. I know you're much more of a fan of them than I am.
Yeah.
I don't not like them.
Yep.
I like them, but I know they're pretty much yours.
Yeah. I love these guys. I've been into them for years, and as far as I'm personally concerned, whatever they do is gold. They can pull off the acoustic stuff, the mellow stuff, the heavy stuff. Yep. It all comes across really, really well. They're a bunch of talented musicians that are doing a really good thing. And like I said, everything they've done, I've loved. And so this would be just one more thing to add to the list as far as I'm concerned. This
CD definitely has all of their hit singles on it, from The Sound of Madness and everything in between. But that's just 1 week worth of CD releases. So
you can imagine we're going to be doing this midweek hard rock happenings every week as far as we're concerned, and we're going to get through a lot of ground in this little episode. But
one last thing that we wanted to chuck out there on this particular episode is we wanted to pick a unsigned artist of the week.
Yeah.
And based on a gig that we recently went to, we're choosing Bad Omen as our unsigned artist of the week.
Yep.
Because we've seen them live. We haven't heard any of their recorded stuff yet, but they were unbelievable live. They're very young. They're a little bit green, but they've got a lot of potential. They've got a boatload of potential.
Yeah.
And the real selling point for me was they did a cover of Slayer, and they pulled it off. Not many people can do that. So
and for a young green outfit, that's saying something. I remember watching you as they were doing it, and this man right here was getting right into it, and to see him getting into a band doing a Slayer cover, when knowing how much you can the ones that generally try and do it, that was a compliment to Bad Omen in itself.
So check them out and grab a hold of their EP when it comes out.
We will keep you posted as to those details,
because they're worth it. But we've run out of time now, so that's all for the Hard Rock Happenings from us, the Hard Rock Show.
Yeah.
So until our next episode, which should come in about 2 or 3 days.
Yep.
Drink up.
Rock on.